So I was wondering if you could give me a statement about, how you feel about how things went last night.
How it went last night?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was step one on a process. It was one that we wanted to now explore alternative locations for the sign, and so that's where we're at. That's subject, of course, to it being approved, because this is just a recommendation.
Okay, and so with this year extension, where do you think Ryerson will start to look?
Well, the I think the question is, what process will we join in with the city to be able to reach out to Torontonians on their ideas? Because if you look at the Twitter sphere and the blogosphere, you see a number of people already having ideas on locations for the sign. So rather than us just on our own doing it, I think it will be the process under which we communicate to those that are interested in it. And some of the examples that I've seen are Young Dundas Square as one example that keeps coming up. But it's very early days, and we haven't sat down with the city, and there's even we want a clarity on what was the motion and that. So it's very early days, but I would say that we're into a process where we are communicating with people, but we can't run ahead of ourselves because this hasn't been approved yet.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, even though people are suggesting things and, you'd want to collaborate with the city, there are serious structural concerns. I mean, the sign is massive. So I imagine that will limit you in terms of just what's even
well, there
possible.
will always be feasibility issues on it. Like it's almost certain it has to be on a wall. It can't be freestanding. Those will be structural issues that would have to either promote some sites or eliminate others, just on the physical characteristics of the sign.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the city and their reactions, do you think this has been bad press for Ryerson? Like, what do you make of the criticisms that council and the city have had for the school?
Well, I think there is one huge misunderstanding of it. And I'm happy to give you the exact wording of the agreement that we had. The agreement we had said that that the university, if it could not locate them on the Student Learning Center, could move it to another site on campus. And all we were really asking City Council is that we think we can do better than that and find a better location. So this idea that we were reneging on an agreement was absolutely without anyone reading the agreement. There was never an agreement that they had to be on the Student Learning Center site. It was that if we could not find an appropriate way to put them there, we could move them. And so I think the bad press was one that if people read the agreement, they would said this wasn't a reneging of the agreement at all. And I'm happy to give you the wording.
Yeah, definitely. I would take you up on that for sure.
Okay.
I'll give you my email at the end of the call. But
yeah.
So when you were designing, or when Ryerson was designing the SLC,
right,
why wasn't the sign built into it? I mean, if you're starting from scratch on a building, you have the opportunity.
It's because it wasn't required. That was not the requirement from the city. It was not that you were going to hire an architect to build a building that would incorporate that sign. That was not the agreement. And the city knew that. The city approved the architectural plans. People want to pretend that that was the agreement. It was not the agreement. Now, someone might have now say that should have been the agreement. That's a different thing. That was not the agreement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I was just talking to some people, and they were just wondering why, if you're building a building from scratch and you have this sign, wouldn't it be easier just to?
No, because the objective of the international competition was to build the greatest building we could. It was not to build the greatest building we could on the condition it could incorporate the sign. People might wish we would have done that, but that was not the agreement with the city.
All right. And my final question is, so what's your best case scenario? How would you like this to all pan out?
Well, I think my best case scenario would be that that when you look what the Student Learning Center will be, people will say, this is an unbelievably fantastic building. It made such a difference to Ryerson and the city. And then they will say, you know, the innovative approach that the university used in bringing back the heritage of the SAM sign and how they used modern technology and modern strategies to make it sure it's environmentally sound. And they're an amazing group of people. And my God, they went much further than anyone ever thought. And isn't everything spectacular?